The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Here we go again, one more out of politics. I am telling you, ladies and gentlemen, one more before, I'm not sure. I am the Democrat. I am the good part of this. Now, over here is the Republican. Bad Republicans. Hi, Al.
You're a legend in your own mind.
That's right, in my own mind.
You know what a rock with lips is?
Yes.
Ken Gidge.
Yes.
Just keep running your lips.
Talking about rocks and lips and pigs and lipstick, what is this? Trump brings back
Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin?
She's well loved in the conservative community.
Sarah Palin?
Sarah Palin, yeah, very successful governor.
She quit? What are you talking about?
No, she left to run because she, unlike others, felt it was not right to stay as a governor and run for president.
No. She quit before that. Quit before that. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Palin. Oh, God, hell, thank you. And please, Mr. Trump, definitely.
I should act like you and say, "Whoa, why are you talking about her?" Oh, no. I mean, because you have nothing to talk about. Hillary, who's going to be in jail soon. You got a socialist. You know?
You mean are you trying to say that the only good part of me is my darling wife?
That's it. That's the best part of you.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I have something to read.
That's the best part of you is your wife.
It's the best part. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Garrett, who is also a state representative, and my wife, she kept she kept her maiden name. So, I guess you had Kasich, Rubio, and who up to the State House on Wednesday?
Oh, Christie. There was three of them.
Okay, so anyway, she comes out and they interview her, and it says freshman Democrat Lee Garrett of Nashua had a slightly different take. Hillary Clinton supported. Garrett said that she was not starstruck by the candidates Wednesday. Kasich, I thought, was most palatable. She said, adding that Rubio spoke about prayer a little too much for her taste. She said that Christie opening line, how completely fabulous it is to be in the House dominated by Republicans, that he pretty much insulted all the Democrats in the room.
Why? It was the truth.
Okay. So
but I didn't like it either.
No,
I did go to the speaker, by the way.
Partisan politics aside, however, Garrett said that primary was giving her and her colleagues an opener for a good discussion. At lunch Wednesday, Garrett said that she asked a Republican member whom she would vote for. The answer was Donald Trump, hopefully with Sarah Palin at her side. Now, I don't agree with her, but we talked more and talked about how insurance companies and businesses and banks and financial institutions are running the economy, and we agreed 100%. Mm-hmm. So there you go. That's my...
You know,
she's smart. This was a very good...
But it's nice to see that your wife gets in the paper and you don't. Maybe because it's the kid's
no,
name.
I can't.
No wonder she didn't take your name.
Well, there might be some truth.
In case you got out of line here today, I think it's time I put you out of your misery.
Let's hear it. Was
This is my lighter that I got here. You know, in case you get out of line there.
It's a big lighter with a small thing.
Somebody needs to put you out of your misery. All right, so I'll put that there.
Well, I gotta tell you, and I think you already know, I did not make Wednesday, and I had committee on Thursday. Now, I did go on Tuesday, leaving, are you ready for this, at 4:45 at night. We had a
Okay.
late session, okay? 4:45 at night, I'm walking down one of the driveways, to get into the parking garage for the people who are either vice chairs or chairs. Okay, I have a parking garage.
What are you doing in there? You don't.
No,
belong
I
there.
wasn't. No. So I walked through that, heading down. There was my truck, was right there. All of a sudden, I absolutely just went up in the air, came down, crashed. I went up for a second. I could hear somebody yell, "Call an ambulance." And finally, I get up. I'm blood here, blood there, concussion. They take me back into the LOB building, the Legislative Office building. They want to call an ambulance. Of course, I'm like you. I want to go home. I don't want to go to a hospital.
We got patches for that
You
stuff.
and me, right? Right. I want to go home.
You trying to tell me you're tough?
No.
I straightened you up.
We're stupid.
I toughened you
No,
up.
we're stupid.
No.
Yeah, we're dumb.
No, I just know how to
So
take care of myself.
let me finish the story.
go ahead
So
there.
they want me to sit
Mr.
down,
Legend.
and then Shurtleff, the Democratic, majority, he wants me to go. I pushed him out, really out the door. Then I walked down and I sat in the truck, and I sat there for a while, and I wasn't in any shape to drive. So that's one.
What was the better half of that?
She was home. She had already.
Okay, so you had to drive yourself.
3 weeks before that, I walk out the back door. Now, people must understand, it's colder in Concord than it is down here. Believe me, it's colder in Concord, all right? So I went out the back door, the northern door, and it had rained, and from the top all the way down the stairs, just absolutely crashed, another concussion. I get up, I walk back into the building, and I go, hey, don't let anyone out that back door. Now, I don't remember getting there. I don't remember getting back in my truck, but I was sitting in the truck, and I remember people coming over and sanding it. I'm telling you, I couldn't remember things.
So this is the reason why the last couple of shows that we've had, you were brain dead.
Days, and I want to show you that. Is that a crack?
Yeah, looks like a crack. Yeah.
That's a crack. This is all
Was
right.
that in your hand?
Yes, yes, I did. So there I did. I cracked my iPad, which I adore. But and so now I'm bringing this all to your attention.
Trying to make me feel bad?
No,
Okay.
because you did mention something before the show, and that was you were insulted. You think that's your opinion because you're a Republican and he's a Republican. That's interesting. You were offended at how the Speaker of the House treated you when you asked the Speaker what?
Well, what happened is he came up with HB 400, I think the bill was, concerning workman comp, that election officials are not state employees. And there's federal law and some other stuff that Dick Marple, he really sold me on this here. And then it came up that we all had workman comp, that they were paying for us. I'm saying, why are you paying workman comp for me? I didn't know that. I said, when I had a heart attack, I'm fortunate I have insurance. So some of us in our seat were talking. I didn't know we had workman comp. So I went to the well and asked the question. And I said, when I had my heart attack, nobody ever said that we had workman comp. I had it here in the job. And he made a big joke out of it.
That was funny.
That was funny. Like, you go see this, the
My
chief of staff
chief of
and all
staff.
that there. When I was asking the questions for the other reps that are sitting there, because there are some reps up there that don't have health
They
insurance.
don't understand because the first time I fell, okay, I did go to I had 2 concussions in less than a month. I mean, we're talking, the first one, I
So
was...
that explains all this stupid
was-
stuff you throw out. Yeah?
Excuse me.
Oh, okay,
Can
sorry.
I finish?
I should be making a joke.
I'm trying to give
I'm
you a
starting to be like the
compliment,
speaker.
all right? We do have workman's comp.
But I never knew that. 9
But
years up there, 10 years.
If I go, and I really have, I've had headaches, so I should go and probably have an x-ray of my head because, all right, as we know, there's probably something missing or something added in there. But my back, my shoulder, I've had an operation on my back, I've had shoulder operations, and here I am like this. But guess
Find anything for concerning a workman comp that election officials and not state police in this federal law.
What kind of
and some
language
other
is that?
stuff
Can
to
you
the
shut that
criminal
off
legal-
there?
I don't
We're
know.
trying to do a TV show
I don't know
here.
how it started.
What's going on? Is
I
that a
do not
ghost in
know
here?
how it started.
That might be the producer trying to shut you up.
No,
there.
shut up.
That's
Shut-
probably what
be
it is.
quiet. Hey Siri, be quiet.
Yeah, see, your
See?
phone.
No, shut up.
Your
all
phone,
right?
yeah. go
It's
ahead.
talking.
Your phone don't even want to talk to you, though.
And, well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
all right?
you ain't kidding.
You know, and,
I don't even want to talk
and
to
I
him
will,
sometimes.
But they said I have workman's comp, and
Right.
I said, okay, but if I go for X-rays and I have insurance, my insurance is going to pay. Why would my insurance pay? Why wouldn't the state pay?
Right.
Why wouldn't the state pay for it? And you had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Now, you have insurance because you were
Retired military.
retired military.
Right.
Okay, that's the state government, the federal government.
Federal government, right.
We
TRICARE.
are paying for that.
Well, you should because
We are paying for that.
Because I put my body on the line for you to enjoy your freedom,
Okay,
to
or
run your
don't
garbage.
say freedom.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is
want to hear
freedom.
that. You don't
Yeah,
know.
it is.
Oh,
Yeah, it is
come on.
because when I was in
It
Desert Shield,
doesn't
Desert Storm,
stop.
and
You were in
we
Desert
stopped these people in
Storm.
other countries
No.
from coming over here
You,
from killing them.
all right. No, they from Desert Storm. They're going to come over and kill us from Kuwait.
Otherwise
Give
you
me
don't
a
understand.
break.
If we don't stop these countries, the terrorists just grow and grow
Can I finish
like a
this?
fungus.
Will you stop a moment? I'm
You
trying to give
question me. You question
some
my integrity.
compliment. What do you mean your
I don't
integrity?
want a compliment.
I always question your
I
integrity.
don't want a
What's
compliment.
new about that?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Give me the compliment.
So the compliment,
There's a hit somewhere here.
you
but-
know, the compliment is this. I didn't know we had workman's comp. But if I go and I have an x-rays, I'm going to send the bill to the state. Not because I want to send the bill to the state so the taxpayers will pay. I want to send the bill to the state to make it very clear that we up there are considered nothing more than what?
Elected official.
That's it. We're not, but we have workman's comp if we're hurt on,
Right.
on site. So if that's true, how can we not be employed by the state?
I don't understand it. And how is the work? Are they paying workman comp for every week for us, or is it a one time?
That's a, no.
know
Here's
what I
a
mean?
here's a good question.
Yeah, I mean that's the way I don't understand it because if
Here's a good question.
you're
Well,
paying us $100 a
no,
year.
the state is self-insured.
Okay.
Okay,
That's right. So they don't have to pay themselves.
They wouldn't. No, they
Right.
wouldn't.
They wouldn't have to. They just pick up
But
the
they would
tab.
only pay it if you're injured.
Right.
Okay, so that's part
But
of.
no, but it was a big joke. I was asking that question for the other people sitting around me and everything because we were discussing it. Wow, if you get hurt up here, you're covered. Who's paying to work? You know, and we had no clue. A lot of us. And I've been there. I'm going on my 10th year.
Well, if I wouldn't have fallen down the first
probably
time,
would have never
I would
known.
have never known.
How did you even know? Did somebody tell you that?
No, I went to the nurse. I said, listen, I just want to make it recorded that this did happen.
Right.
And she said, well, you can sign these papers and get workman's comp. And I said, workman's comp?
How do you break
What are they
down
gonna give me-
$100? How
What
do
are they
they
going to
pay
give me
you?
workman's comp for?
Yeah.
For what? For lost wages?
Yeah. Yeah, we're both laughing on that
I'd
one.
probably have to pay them. Lost wages, what, 4 cents a day
yeah.
or something like that?
Something like that,
4 cents
yeah.
an hour? But I would think that they would have to pay for medical.
I was shocked when I heard that about them paying workman comp. You know, so how do you pay workman comp if we were self-insured?
You know something? You know there is a bill to pay us a little bit more, as you probably know. And I was asked by a Republican about that who thought it was hilarious, and I said, actually, it's not hilarious. I don't mind working for nothing or almost nothing. I don't mind every time I go to the State House, take money out of my pocket, literally, from not working to paying for lunches. I mean, it's expensive up there.
Right. Oh,
It's
yeah.
not cheap. Gas. I mean, 50, and what did they, it was 55 cents a mile. Did they
think-
bring it down to 52 cents a mile or something like
No,
that?
I don't know. I don't even know what we're getting now. I don't even pay it no mind.
Yeah, so we got, I think, demoted by 3 cents
Did
per
we?
mile. So we can't even buy a set of tires. We literally
Right.
cannot.
No, not
Especially
at all.
in your vehicle.
You know,
I mean,
yeah.
one of your tires is about the cost of
About
my old
400
truck.
bucks for one of my tires.
Yeah, I mean, right. So, but I don't mind doing that. But now, and it was a Republican who figured it out. Are you ready for this? She took and did all the mathematical equation from when they were paid, I think 200 years ago or 100 years ago, $100.
Right, in silver.
Yeah, well, but she figured it out, and she came to a price of like 7,500. And she thought that can you imagine paying 400 people 7,500? I said, yeah. I said the whole idea was that this should be a government, a volunteer government.
Right.
So $100 in those days was a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Right. Yep.
But they still lost money. If we were paid $7,000, we wouldn't even break even. So
what's your point?
is the state getting $7,000 out of you value?
They're getting more. I mean, I'm actually, I help veterans. I help people all around the state in my district. Sometimes, I mean, you went on vacation getting phone calls and other stuff. But the bottom line is we don't do this because we want the money. We do it because it's rewarding.
No, hold on.
You know what I mean?
That's
You gotta get
not
paid.
my point.
What's your
I
point?
understand.
Are you looking to get
We're
paid,
not
or-
being paid $7,500 per year for what we do. We're not really getting paid.
No, but we get mileage.
we
You get mileage that go 53 cents now a mile. How many miles
it
is
was
it from here?
55. We lost 2 cents.
Yeah, it was when it used to be 50. Then it went up to 55 because the gas prices were up. Okay, now they go by the federal gas tax. That's what they're going by. So whatever they put it on the federal side, they drop it down to that.
My point is this. No person up there doesn't spend probably $8,000 to $9,000 to $10,000 a year.
Oh, more.
Just
No, yeah,
to
you're right.
do
Lunches.
the job.
Right, lunch and functions and
Why in the
fundraisers.
world, if we're up there, now I know we rent out the cafeteria,
Mm-hmm.
but why don't we, if we're representatives and we all get a pass, that we don't get like 50% off on our lunches?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Well, it's a private business, yeah. That'd be kind of tough.
Well, no, I
They'd have to
understand
pay that, but you're right.
And I'm not talking about getting paid. I'm talking about, look,
Yeah.
how about a set of tires and how about gas? And you want to know something? They wouldn't even have to pay us. They could give us gas. We could get free gas.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
Well, we get free tolls.
Yeah, we
You
should
know,
get
yeah.
free gas. What's
Right.
wrong with that? How about a set of tires every 2 years?
I can tell you the last time somebody put in a bill, I don't know, it was 6, maybe 7 years ago, I remember, on raising, the pay. I voted against it.
Well, I will vote for it, knowing that it
Yeah.
will not pass. But having said that, I think the voters don't understand. Seriously, I've talked to voters who thought that was a joke when I said we're only making $100
Oh,
a
you
year.
ain't kidding.
I don't think they understand how much money we spend, not lost wages.
You ain't kidding.
I'm talking
my
about
wife and
the
I
money.
buy tickets for different functions, and 50, 75 here per ticket. Fundraisers, the things we go to, it's just unbelievable.
Well, I don't
know,
like your
as a-
politics
as a
anyway. I
legend.
like your wife. She's cute.
Well,
But
I don't like your politics either, and I don't like your wife's
hate
politics either, but I like your wife.
But I must say
What do you think of that?
that you're
Double the
there
pleasure.
all the time. Mm-hmm. Okay? I've estimated there's approximately 150 representatives who work. The rest just come,
Right.
they sit,
They don't.
vote.
They don't go up and speak on behalf of
they
their
don't
constituents.
speak,
Nothing.
they don't
Yeah, it's
do
a shame.
anything, they just fill up the space.
As you see, I'm heavy involved. I go right to the well.
You are
with
always
questions,
involved. You're a pain in the
because
ass, but it's a...
my district sent me to be a voice for them, and I'm going to be a loud voice.
you're a voice.
I will continue.
You're a
Nobody,
voice.
Nobody will ever silence
Half
me.
the Republicans don't like you.
Yeah.
Half the Democrats like you.
Yeah, that's right. So that's all that counts. You know who I care, like, as long as my wife and children like me.
Yeah.
Because
well,
I look at it, if I'm not doing the job that my constituents sent me there to do, then please vote me out. I'll go fishing. I'll go down to Florida. More.
I want to say something because I want to say something every week because I think it's very important. Nobody would hear what we said unless there was public access television.
Right. No, they had no clue. Right.
They'd have no clue.
Yep.
Now, granted, a lot of people don't like the show. A lot of people don't like you. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people don't
care.
like us together.
That seems like a baby.
All right. But having said that, if it wasn't because of public access TV, you would not hear us agree or disagree.
Right. No, I agree, and people would know the real issues.
Yes. So.
That faced them here in New Hampshire.
Right. Exactly. So public access TV is please support your public access television. That's
Without a
important.
doubt.
And we got God. I'm not gonna say God who's running our boards.
You see, you're like my town, London. We have a great access team here. Just like you do here.
You got
and,
you I think probably have the best in the state because you got the most money.
Well, we got 5 channels. Also, so that go with our access there, which is nice. What do you say?
We have the best equipment and we have the best set up place than anyone in the state. This is the truth.
Thank you.
But you're welcome, God. But they have the most money over there.
Yes, we do.
We work
because we have a lot of people of go out and fight. Not just for the director.
Yeah.
When the director goes up there on an issue, there's all sorts of people going with him, and they pack the council. You know what I mean? When they try to stick it to free, speech, because that's what we look at our cable access, free speech. This is an opportunity to get your message out there and tell like
no matter what it is.
No matter
you
what
can
it
do
is.
a gardening show,
Right.
you can do
You
a
can do
cooking
anything.
show, you can do
And-
anything you want.
Right.
You know what I was thinking of doing? I'm really thinking about, I got to talk to Richard about this. If we could get a large canvas about the size of the wall, and we'll have tops all over the place, we could do a show. As we're talking, throw paint at the canvas.
Yeah, we
right?
could.
So we could be painting and talking at the same time.
We could do that.
We could do that, but we won't do that.
I'm going over some stuff that's going on in the country, and I see your campaign that you're supporting Hillary. I see her husband is speaking in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's going on in Las Vegas? It says Slick Willie to speak in Las Vegas during National Porn Convention. What's going on?
And who wrote that? Slick Willie?
Yeah, there's
Who
an article.
wrote that?
It's in an article. It's on the buzzpo.com.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Which is their blog.
Wait a minute, excuse me. They're
It's probably
Republican.
no, that's not Republican. It's a Vegas blog.
Wait a minute, excuse me. Slick Willie
Slick
is
Willie.
not a. Wait, excuse me. Wasn't he president
Yeah.
for 2 terms?
Yeah.
Didn't he leave when there was money in the bank?
He sure did, but that
Didn't he
Republican.
Al, you should have called them former president.
Yeah, former president. Yeah, former president
This
Slick
God
Willie.
again.
Yeah,
God's Republican.
former President Slick Willie.
I'll tell you what,
You know?
if God is Republican, I would like to know what God thinks about Sarah Palin and Donald Trump getting together.
Well, I think it's a great idea. I think because Sarah Palin is very state involved, has a grassroots going all throughout the whole country. She's very involved with the conservative in the trenches. I think she really helped them big time.
So if I called her a freak of nature, you would be upset at me?
No, not at all, because that's your personal opinion.
Well,
And liberals
if
always
she
call people names.
didn't have how can I say this? As an artist, if you take a look at her, she's so, how do I say this? So perfect in facial. I mean, all right, and also for her side. I mean, what I'm trying to say is
See,
that
you
she's
look at it-
obviously attractive to look
Right.
at.
Okay, but
until
see-
she opens her mouth.
Well, that's your opinion.
That's my opinion.
That's right. You're wrong. In my
no,
opinion.
I'm not wrong.
In my opinion,
No,
you
I'm
are.
not wrong.
You've been wrong many
now,
times,
now,
in my
do you
opinion.
think Trump ought to take her on
Well,
as a vice president?
No, not at all.
Why?
No, because I think she's past her time, and I think she still stays.
Ooh, past her time?
No, when I say past her
What
time,
does that
meaning
mean?
her opportunity was
What
there.
does that mean?
What I'm saying is she had an opportunity to be the
Yeah,
vice president.
She screwed it up.
No, I don't think she screwed it up. I think she did a great job. I think lessons learned. Our Republican candidates didn't stand up and speak out like Trump is. Trump is talking about the issues. He's not politically correct. He's speaking the way you and I talk right here at the table. Okay? That's how he talks, Trump.
All right,
And he's an educated guy.
we are going to we'll come back to Trump. We are going to go through a couple things because I think we should get our show just a little bit more regulated.
Why wouldn't you be regulated?
Oil prices.
Yeah. Okay. Oil prices are down. What, below 30, 28 bucks or something? I don't know, a gallon, a 55-gallon drum.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So what's the problem? I mean, that's.
Well, I think we talked about this. I said that I would like to be one of the very first people to start that we will pay no more than $2.50 per gallon.
And you wanted me to
Right.
swear and do all
Swear
this
to do
here,
that.
and I told you were crazy.
Right, crazy.
Yeah, because it's a federal issue. But go ahead.
No, oil is not a federal issue.
Well, yeah, it is. Because
Excuse me,
it's
oil is
controlled-
not a federal
well,
issue.
okay,
Oh, wait a
it's-
minute. Unless we say we pay oil companies.
The market controls it. You know. Yeah. I mean, the free market.
controls it. And now I have a question. We're really basically self-sufficient with
Okay.
oil and natural gas.
Yes, we are. We're
It's
doing
the
a lot
first
better.
time. I mean, this has got to be the luckiest
Right.
country in the world. All right. I mean, it has to be. We're sort of away from a lot of the other areas. We have Canada, and we have Canada, which is brothers and sisters basically.
Right.
I mean, I didn't know Canada only had 35 million people. I thought it was larger than
Yeah,
that.
no, it's a small country.
But oil prices. Now, your Republicans wanted something, and the president agreed with it, which I disagreed, but I can understand, we're not going to argue about raising the debt
Talking about
ceiling.
exporting
okay?
oil.
And that is that we now have the ability, when we didn't have it before, to export
Right.
natural gas and oil. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think it's a great idea.
Why?
Because I think our companies should be able to. We have an overabundance now. Why shouldn't we be selling out in the market and bring that money back to our country?
Do you think that this possibly may be that we will be sending oil to countries and we will be buying oil
We've been buying.
from countries? Well, excuse me. You just said we have enough to export it.
Yeah.
So is it okay, instead of keeping it, is for us to export it and then to import it from somebody else?
No, the question: are we importing it from somewhere else? Do we even know that? Are we now? Because we have a high surplus of oil in our country now.
Hold on.
No, wait, you asked me a question. I gave an answer. Don't tell me to hold on.
Wait a minute.
I gave you an answer.
Are you saying that it's okay? Hey, this phone is buzzing. May I take a
All
look
right,
at
can I
it?
throw that phone away there?
It's my house calling.
All right. Yeah, she's probably watching there saying, "Oh, there's my husband goes off again. Don't know what he's saying.
Whoopee.
He's crazy."
Back and forth. But it's just my opinion, I'm sorry, that, you went to Desert Storm. When you got there, were there oil wells on fire?
Yes, it was. I was
How
right
many?
in the middle of them. Hundreds of them.
Hundreds?
Hundreds. I was there when the oil was shooting up in the sky and then the flames, and I mean, it was all over my boots, and I was right in the middle of this
That's what
stuff.
got you sick.
I don't know. It's possible, but we also had shots. We had to take pills. We were guinea pigs to the pharmaceutical companies.
All right, so you would say you went to war for oil.
No.
Well, wait a minute.
That's not-
When you
I don't believe I
got
went for
there,
oil.
what did you do?
We went to war that we set up there. We went to war to free the people in Kuwait that were being held and raped and killed and pillaged and everything
Excuse
else.
me.
Kuwaitis.
Excuse me. Did you build helipads so
I did.
they
I built
could-
airfields.
And I got a question. Do the airfields bringing people to turn off the wells?
No, I had nothing to do with that.
No, you didn't,
I
but-
had to do
but
with.
that's what we did.
Refueling aircraft and refitting them with bombs.
All right. All right. Okay. My point, quite simply, is this. If you like it or not, we've been fighting wars for oil.
No, I don't think so. I don't
Oh,
think we have.
really?
I don't think we have.
Okay. So the whole thinking,
The
I believe...
Kuwaitis are our friends.
Well,
The Kuwaitis.
right. And did they pay us with oil, by the way?
No, but they did offer.
they pay us
They did.
anything?
They did offer to pay, and George Bush refused. They did offer to pay the troops their money, and George Bush said we're not mercenaries. Saudi Arabia offered to pay also, and they said we're not mercenaries. That was the thing when I was on the ground. You know what I mean? I never seen anything in writing or anything like that.
Well, I would
That's
have
what we were
liked
being
to
told.
seen it us being paid back with oil.
That's why. So you agree with
But
Donald Trump then?
No,
They should pay.
Let me
Do you agree with Donald Trump then?
Let me finish.
Do you agree with Donald Trump? They should be paid. Take the oil then.
Well, I happen to like Bush, and I just finished a book by Bush one, okay, which you've got to read it. You really do.
Actually, I like both Bushes.
I got news for you. This is what a real man. All right, shot down, right, over the ocean, picked up,
Right.
took 2 or 3 weeks off, and went up and did 35 more missions. This is a man. All right. When he said we're not mercenaries, I think I understand that. All right. But why they simply did it in the book, he says, was, the hell is
What is going on today with you? I can't keep talking.
I'm telling you, I don't understand what's going on
I think
here.
you got to be smarter than the phone.
Yeah.
To how to put it on mute.
Well, I did put it on mute. I don't understand. Well, anyway.
I think maybe it's the brain there.
Well, my point, quite simply, was that what George Bush said, Bush one, said that if Iraq would have taken it over, they would have had over 50% of the oil. They could have put the world, in a lot of trouble, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But my point is, this is how I feel. If we should supply our own country first. And if you want to use the prices, which are prices throughout the world, fine. As long as it doesn't go over $2.50, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because since we've had lower gas, lots of good things have happened. Jobs.
No, you're wrong.
A lot of
no, we haven't.
planes.
Listen
a
to
lot
me
of
what I'm going to explain to you.
travel.
Why export is very important. Since the cost of oil has dropped down drastically, oil companies had to lay off workers.
Okay, how many?
Okay, I don't know. What do
many?
you think I am? A statistician? I go around and count numbers. How many did you
Excuse me, would you say probably 1 million people have gotten
I'm not
jobs
even going to
because
guess.
of this?
No, because of the natural gas, yes. On the natural gas side, yes. On the oil rigs, in the beginning, for the last 10 years, listen to me.
Hold on a second.
Let me finish.
Hold on a second.
It takes you 8 to 10 years before you even find, through the drilling
That's
process,
bull.
before you even
That
come up with the oil.
doesn't happen anymore.
No, that's what happened here recently.
No, it doesn't
Why
happen anymore.
It's taken us years here before
no,
they
they
hit
don't.
Okay.
They can tell where it is.
Don't believe me. You
I
check
know.
yourself
Do-
there and you'll
do-
see,
do a
okay?
Google
Check for
search.
yourself there because he
Google
throws
search.
stuff out there that
All right, okay.
you don't believe
Look,
it.
my opinion, quite simply, is this is my opinion. Give your opinion, we'll
Okay.
move on. My opinion, quite simply, is this. Do not export anything.
I disagree.
Let me finish. All right?
Okay, go ahead.
You may export.
You always want to finish and I get
You may
you
export
cut me
the
off.
access. That means we will always have fuel. We'll never be under the gun, and we'll never have to go to war for it. Go ahead.
Okay, now our country already has a system in there where we maintain backup barrels of oil. Okay, so if we ever stop, we didn't get oil before, we had a surplus. Now, with the oil by the money barrels, $30 a barrel or $28 a barrel dropping down, oil companies have no choice but to export and sell it to keep going, just like other goods we export.
No.
See, we're going to agree to disagree.
That's nobody is selling
After a
it.
while, where can you store after a while in barrels? You shut the pumps off and say, let's wait?
I have a question.
Do you shut the pumps
Is
off?
it-
Answer me.
Is it acceptable for you, knowing we have oil here, we are exporting it, is it acceptable for you for us to buy imported oil and pay more for it?
Well, it depends on, some,
I asked you
we
a
do
question.
business.
I asked you a
Why
question.
do we need to buy oil from other countries when we're trying to export it? Tell me why now. We had to before, but tell me why we need to buy
Because they
it
can
now.
raise the prices.
No, that's not true. The market controls the
All right,
prices.
that's it. That's your opinion. That's my
Right.
opinion.
See, you never want to hear my opinion. You
Labor
always cut me off.
shortage in the state of New Hampshire.
We've been
Labor shortage.
We've been telling you this for years.
No,
Labor
you
shortage.
don't. You've been
Yeah, we
telling me
have.
that nobody's got a job.
That's because look at this.
Because nobody's had a job.
No, look at this.
Now everybody's got a job.
No, there's a labor
now they
shortage.
Need more people to
no,
get
wait,
jobs.
because people are home.
You're crazy.
No, why would you want to go to work if you?
Here's a Republican, here's a Democrat.
Why-
I'm good, he's bad. Here we go.
You know, why do you want to go to work if you can sit home and make almost $39,000 a year on 10 of benefits? Why would you
Why
want
do
to go?
Why do you make statements like that?
It's the truth.
You make statements like
You know
that.
something? I
that are
brought
really
you in the numbers.
stupid. You're really.
I brought you in the numbers
dumb.
before.
And you want to know something? You know what's good
In
about
New Hampshire-
people who don't tell the truth?
In New Hampshire.
You want to know about the best thing about
You know
people who don't
something?
tell the truth
No.
and why people like you are believed? Because part of what
know
you say
something?
is correct.
That's right. Everything what I said
No,
is correct.
part of it.
What I
there
just said.
are people who do that, but the absolute majority don't. So
know
you
something?
take this one little piece of people who are just awful people, and you say everybody's awful. Everybody's taking advantage.
We've had more people leave our state, okay, children. If you look at the census of 2010, our state is 35 to 80 or whatever, 590 years old. If you look at our 18 or 23, when they're 23, when they get out of college, to 35, we don't have the
do we have,
workforce.
do we have good
Okay.
infrastructure?
Infrastructure?
Yeah, do we have? Is it good?
Yeah, roads, building,
Really?
bridges.
Did you know?
We're still working
Do
on it.
you
We still
know that off highways we have the third worst roads in the United States?
I disagree with you.
So if a business,
I disagree. That's not true.
That's off
That's
the
not true.
highways. That's off the,
You know something? I
that's-
can't keep up with
that's-
the BS
okay.
you throw out.
So
That's not
if
true.
that is factual, why
That
would a
is not
business
true.
come up here?
Then why did
Why
a few,
would a business come up here?
Why? Because of our business taxes.
Excuse
We're 48th in the
me?
country.
Excuse
We're number
me?
48th in high business taxes.
Excuse me?
What are you talking
Why
about?
don't you fix a road?
Oh, give it a break. You know,
Republican,
you throw out more lies and
Shortage
BS out there.
of labor means that Obama was absolutely
Why do I do
correct.
this show with you? Sometimes I wonder why I even come here. Because you throw out more BS without not having the
Here we go.
facts.
Hold on a second.
Okay, if you look at some of the roads, the
you
bridges.
should just be
Let's use the
upset.
bridges
I don't
on the
even
on the
know.
red listed bridges. A lot of them because they don't comply with the federal regulations.
You got a safety on this gun.
Yeah, that's right. It's,
It's the first safety
don't
you've got on
hurt,
that
don't
gun.
hurt yourself, okay?
Here we go. All
Hey,
right.
a lot of bridges because they don't comply with the federal laws.
Will
with
you stop
No, you
it?
just don't wanna listen.
You know something. You know something. I'm right. You're wrong on
no.
this one.
You know, so how come I never see you in any of these committee hearings to listen?
All right,
How come I never see you in these committee hearings? Transportation, public works.
The question I have to
How
ask
come?
you, do you believe that our president has gone the right direction, especially up in New Hampshire where we're about
On what?
4%,
On what?
and we need labor up here? When he came in here, nobody had a job.
You know something? Give it a break, will you? That's
right.
we were at 5.5, 6%. Okay, give it a break here. New Hampshire sustained themselves there. We did a pretty good job. You all said the sky was falling. Okay,
No,
we
we
lost
didn't. You
the
did.
jobs that we lost. No, we
What?
didn't because you blew almost $900 million
I love
deficit.
what you say.
You put us at $900 million
We have
deficit.
argued, and you have said New
No.
Hampshire's lost jobs.
I
New
said-
Hampshire's is
What
just so
I
out of it.
said is
and
the
we
bus-
need people to come up here and work.
What I
Oh, wait a
said-
minute. We need rail.
You never let me
Oh,
finish.
hold on.
You know something? I'm going to let you take this show over with John Burt because you never let me finish. Why do I get aggravated?
all right, I'm sorry.
Okay?
Go ahead. Go
It's
ahead.
always your way or the highway.
All right.
Your way
I
is
do
normally-
not do that.
9 out of 10 times you're wrong.
Excuse me.
I've never seen you at any of the
What?
briefings in public works,
It's
transportation,
I've had a
health and human services.
I've had a head injury, so I can get away with
but I have to call you out on it, and then I get aggravated. I'm saying, Jesus,
All right.
I can't believe this.
The truth is that we need people up here for jobs.
Yeah,
the
we've
truth
been
fact
saying this for
was is
years.
that thank God that we got a Democrat, and Obama's going to go down as one of the best
Okay.
presidents who's ever
Right.
lived.
I'm going to tell you. I was just in Ways and Means here.
No. Let's get through these first.
I am. I'm going to talk about jobs.
Let's get through these
I'm going to
first.
talk about
Hold on.
jobs.
All right, okay.
And that's what I'm going to talk about, jobs. I was just in Ways and
Bankruptcies
Means on a bill.
down 25%,
We're doing, yeah.
25 years.
Foreclosures are still, you
No,
know.
done.
No.
Bankruptcies.
Right.
25
bankruptcies,
years.
right, they're down. But I'm saying foreclosures
By
are still.
a quarter of a century.
There's still people suffering on the foreclosures.
Oh, come on.
I still get calls on foreclosure issues.
All right, what
okay?
do you got? What do you got?
Okay, now, there was a bill in Ways and Means that I co-sponsored with a Nashua state rep. You were there, okay, on how we can bring jobs to the state, how we can attract our young people back. A lot of our young people who got communications degrees, filming, movie productions, leave the state, just like my son.
Excuse me. Did you sign on that bill?
I co-sponsored. You did too.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Thank
you
very
do. And you
much.
took it in another direction and screwed it all up, okay? They were supposed to talk about tax exemptions, and you brought it into another area.
No.
A study committee has nothing to do with taxes.
No. Hold on a second.
You screwed that bill up.
Hold on a second. Eric Eastman brought in a good bill.
Yes.
He is an actor. He does films. He writes. He acts. He wanted to bring in so the state could give people who want to bring films in, give them a tax break. That's what the bill was.
Right.
Don't tell me I did not talk about what was important.
Because you brought them to a study.
No, he did that. I didn't bring it to a study.
No. What I'm saying is you talked about the study that you guys are already doing. Your study has nothing to do with tax breaks.
No.
Okay?
I know. I said
That
we
whole-
have
that
a
whole thing got screwed
committee.
up. What it is,
No,
it's HB 1360,
Yeah.
establishing a credit against business profit taxes for media production expenditures. I explained how I seen my son move to Portland, Maine, and how the production people there came into New Hampshire. They brought their catering foods, their rental equipment, the hotels. They stayed in Maine. They came in New Hampshire, they videotaped, did their shows, went right back to Maine. Massachusetts, the same thing. My son did a X-Plate, I think a comedy here in Nashua about 5 years ago. They came in out of Boston, came in here, they rented a building in Nashua, okay, for a couple of months. Then at nighttime, they went right back to Massachusetts. So meanwhile, what I'm saying is New Hampshire, rooms and meals tax, we're losing all this money
That's
here.
right.
We're losing money on rental fees,
right.
we're gas stations.
But you know, what I did not know, and I don't think you know either, the people in Ways and Means do not think those.
They don't think out of the box. You heard me saying about all
they
the
don't.
gray hair.
No, because one of them said, well, you know, if it was $7 million, it would be twice as much as everyone who's getting money from Ways and Means. And I thought to myself, excuse me? And what's his name got up? McLeod got up and said, well, you know, one town made $800,000.
That's right.
We talked about Golden Pond
That's right.
up there.
Another one said they had a small, cheap production of $37,000 there for a few weeks spent.
Yeah.
In a town.
Could they've
in
got
hotels
$2,000 or
and everything else.
$3,000
Right. Now,
back as a tax break?
a friend of mine who I went to high school with, she owns the Boston, what do you call it, agency there for videos, movies and everything. She's big time in there.
yeah.
And matter of fact, Representative Eric Eastman is involved with that because he goes to Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Where he does his shows and everything.
yeah.
It's not being done here. If he was doing them here in New Hampshire, and the people here wouldn't have to go to Boston for jobs, they could be working here in New
Well,
Hampshire.
you know, the interesting thing about Eric was that he didn't understand Ways and Means.
I think he's a freshman. I think he
No,
went a different.
he
should never
should
changed
have
it.
come to us.
Yeah, that's what I told him. You should have
And
told.
then he wants to go back to a study committee, and I said, you know, Eric, I know
Yeah.
because of a lot of people in Ways and Means want to do something, that we can put a bill together with them. You
Right.
don't need a study.
No, that's right. We could have done
We don't
something
need
because
and
the
I'm-
focus was taxes.
Texas.
But the bottom line is they wouldn't be paying much taxes in New Hampshire if they came and set up in here. Because we don't have a payroll tax. We got a BET. Okay, that's it. They'll be making out by coming
Well,
here. But we're not doing nothing to attract
Well,
them.
hold on a second. Hold on a second. I did mention Adam Sandler, and I did Seth Meyers, and also Silverman, Sarah, and a few others
Right.
who are big time, but don't come to New Hampshire and make movies. Make the
Yeah,
movies here.
right.
And somebody got up and said that that I guess Adam Sandler came up here, looked
Adam Sandler
around,
has a place here.
saw
somewhere in New Hampshire.
Well, he went to high school here.
Right, but he still has a home here, I understand.
I don't
That's what
know
heard.
that. So he came up here, looked around, knew that there were no tax breaks. So he said, go 10 miles over the border and find something that looks like New Hampshire.
That's right. That's what they're doing.
So I got a question. If these people started out here, Sarah Silverman started here, Seth Meyers moved here when he was 10. All right, Adam Sandler was here. And
Right.
there's a couple more, by the way,
Yep.
who've done some major motion pictures. Where the hell are they?
I agree.
Why aren't they in here? And when I make a call to try to say, would you mind doing a little PR thing on the committee trying to study the economic, impact of arts and culture, would you write a little something, or would you say, give us a little CD so we can play it? You want to know something? I haven't received a call back from any of
I
them.
believe it. It's a shame. I believe it.
All right, so we agreed on that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something that's interesting, I think it would interest you, is that our dollar is so strong
Mm-hmm.
that it's hurting our people who go across the pond or people who want to buy our products.
Why is it hurting?
Well, because they have to pay more. Because our dollar is up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, that's about, wait a minute. No, I don't want to do that. 400. Yeah, one other thing. I'm sorry I wasn't there on Wednesday. I really, I'm telling you, I was really bad. I probably should have gone and had x-rays. But
You
was
look
there
bad.
anything passed regarding heroin,
Yeah,
regarding...
there was a bill, and what it is, it put mandates on the insurance companies, and I didn't support the mandates.
mandates?
Yeah, mandates on, let me see, that bill was right off the bat. What I'm looking at, just
For
so people,
heroin
so
addiction?
people will know here, like, before we get into
For
that,
heroin addiction.
yeah, there was a mandate there
Oh,
because
let
some
me
of them,
see
no, don't
this.
touch
Let
nothing.
me show
don't
people
touch nothing.
that.
Don't touch anything.
Please, let me
Okay.
show people that.
What I'm going to show you here, this is what we go through as a legislator. This is a calendar. This was the addendum that came out after the calendar came out, okay, on some bills there that came in late, and we're adding in there.
Amendments, addendums,
Amendments,
yeah, okay,
amend-
right,
and stuff.
right.
This is what we call the pink sheet. This is the House Republican Alliance. There's a bunch of us there that are members there. We have lawyers, we have educators and other that are involved in putting this together. And if it's not constitutional, if it's not Republican platform, they don't take a position. Okay, but if it is against a platform of four, then they take a position. If it goes against the Constitution or it doesn't, they take a position.
So in
Now-
other words, they take a position
Right.
on everything.
Now, this here is a gold standard. It's a Liberty sheet that is put out by this Liberty Alliance group, okay? And this here deals strictly with liberty. This is more libertarian type stuff there. And this is where they ask people of, this is their position. Now, this here is the Republican House office, okay, sheet here. It's a few pages, okay, of different pieces of legislation. Now, this stuff...
Excuse me,
this
what
stuff-
is it?
wait,
So tell me, what is it?
This here
I don't
talks,
even know what it is.
This talks about the Republican positions on bills,
Give me one.
the leadership.
Well, let me read one.
No, I'm not done yet.
All right.
Okay, you don't bring your own stuff in. I'm not scared to tell about Republicans. Now, this is all open
All
to
I have to do is
this
look-
is open
look and
to
listen to you.
Democrats and Republicans. It sits out on the windowsills, sits out on the tables. Any Republican.
I have never seen
these
that.
You're a liar. You're a
never
liar.
seen the white one.
You're a liar. It's always sitting.
I've never.
It's always on the
and
windowsills.
the pink one is around, huh?
You know something? Yeah,
The pink one is not available for anybody.
The pink one is on the windowsills. The white one is on both windowsills that you can just walk up and grab
That is not
This is
true.
handed to every
They hand it to
representative
every
that comes into the
representative.
state
So
house.
your point is-
Now,
What
there-
is your point?
There is a white sheet that's classified by the Democrats. It's a hidden document that's given to them when they do their caucus.
Lying.
Why are you laughing?
Terrible.
Why are you laughing? You can't hold a straight face.
Excuse
Wait,
me.
you can't hold a
Excuse me.
straight face. You're
Excuse
calling me a liar.
I have
Are you-
Republicans sitting
are you-
right next to me who will not vote anything but that pink sheet. And by the way, the pink sheet last time was about 25. Give it to me. Let me look at it. I want to look at
please
it.
don't do that. Please. Why do you do that? Why do you treat me like this?
Every single bill. Every single bill.
No, it's
vote
not.
for or don't vote
Not every
for.
bill's not on there.
That's awful.
You know something? He's a liar. Not every bill's on here. He's wrong. Okay? If you look at the numbers of the bills here, these are them here. There's Senate bills and House bills. Now, the ones that, look at this all the time, because some of our representatives work for a living, and they don't have a chance like I do with the House Republican Alliance to look at all the bills and debate and read the debates. Okay? So naturally, they look at this here, so they make sure they don't make a wrong vote, because some of the title of the bill might be a little bit different in the language. Like, for instance, the drug bill, okay, the first bill of the day, okay, they were bragging about
I wanna-
what that bill's going to do. It's going to cost your premiums to go up.
Excuse me. 400 of our citizens died last year from drug overdose.
something? We
Excuse
stuck-
me. If this was the mumps, if this was the measles that killed 400 people,
You know something?
we would have 1,000 people up here
Okay.
going from door to door.
Listen
but
to the
what do you do
emotions.
about the drugs?
Listen to
what do you do about the drugs? You do nothing.
Answer me.
You
Let me
guys
answer
have
you.
done nothing.
Why don't you shut
should
your
be
mouth?
ashamed of
Hey,
yourself.
Why don't you shut your mouth and let me answer? Okay? Now, We stuck $42 million in a budget that the governor vetoed and the Democrats vetoed for the drug programs. The governor got a $12 million grant from the federal government for the drug programs. But now, she sat on that budget for a couple of months there, then finally said, after we worked the deal out to give out pay raises, okay, versus worried about drugs, programs, they told the Democrats to override my veto. Override my veto. Did you override the veto?
Why don't you be honest?
I am being honest.
This is so complicated.
I am being honest.
Nobody is going to understand it.
It's easy. It's simple.
The question is, did you vote down a bill that would help people?
No.
That would help people get off drugs?
No. Well,
would help people to put more beds in there?
Run your mouth.
Why didn't you?
You run your mouth with BS.
400 people died.
Because we already spent $42 million plus 12. That's
so
54.
400 people still die?
No. What he
and you
wants
didn't vote for anything?
What he wants to do is we have Medicaid expansion. We got Medicaid.
No.
Okay?
Stick to this.
He wants
Stick
to
this
force
bill.
insurance companies now to raise your premiums.
Excuse me. Excuse me. That's not true. That is a lie, and that's not fair. You ask any of those parents out there, 400 in the state of New England, 400? That's an epidemic, for God's sakes. And what do you Republicans do?
We stuck the money.
Not a damn thing about it.
You're a damn liar.
Not a damn thing.
You know something? You're a damn liar. You're a damn liar. You're not telling the truth.
Did you vote on anything?
Yeah, I did vote on
Did you vote against it?
I did vote against it.
You voted against it. There we go.
I got
no more to say on the subject.
I refuse to double a mandate on the people of New Hampshire, okay, with your premiums going up. You don't care.
400 people.
You don't
400 kids died.
You know
and these guys can't spend a couple bucks to give the police departments enough medicines to help and stop. Guess what? Help and to stop.
400 kids.
He's a bunch of BS. There are no 400 kids.
Sorry,
he
God.
is a liar.
God, how about life?
You know something?
Is life a child?
Ken, you know something?
Is an old man who dies at 45?
Ken, you know something? When I do the show with you, I get my blood pressure up here and my heart starts pumping. Because you cannot tell the truth.
Wait a minute.
Where's this camera? In my district,
I don't see the lights on.
The people in my district know me
as a
very truthful.
Camera's on you.
The people in my district know me as a very truthful, tell her like it is guy. I hold no punches. So you're trying to make me that I'm not telling the truth
That's
on the bill.
That's not the truth. You voted against it.
No, I did. I stand by my vote.
You voted against.
I stand by my bill.
So what about the families who lose children?
They were already 2,000.
What about the families there?
They're not just children. They're people all ages.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, I'm sorry.
But listen to me.
So that's right across the board.
We got to give $54 million a chance to work. You want to throw more money in there. You don't even know. They haven't even up and running. Spent the $54 million.
It is so shameful what you guys do.
You just want to keep throwing more money.
No.
You know something?
No. If this was the mumps or the chicken pox, we'd have 1,000 people up here going from door to door. Because it is drugs, you Republicans think, oh, that's okay. It's drugs.
He's a damn
we don't
liar.
mind. People can do what they want.
He is a damn liar.
Did you vote against?
Million.
Did you vote against?
54 million.
Did you vote against letting marijuana come into the state?
What I voted.
Did you vote for making drugs free?
What making
no
drugs
penalty
free?
for drugs.
What penalty? What are you talking about?
That's what I said.
What bill came in? Tell me the bill that came in
no,
on drugs.
I'm asking you another question.
Tell me
we're
a bill.
We're not talking about a bill.
You just run something up.
No, we're not talking about a bill.
No.
Are you for making drugs legal?
No, I'm for making what they call dropping them down on lesser crime. That's what I'm for.
All right. So anyway,
okay.
I guess the whole argument comes down to the Republicans voted against something that would help the 400 families who lost 400 kids.
Where are you on marijuana making it free?
What do you mean free?
Yeah, man, you just asked me that question. I'm going to ask you.
Should it be legalized? Yes.
Should it be legalized?
I guess it should be legalized.
Okay, then why were you an idiot there going off like that then, if you're asking me?
We're talking about heroin.
No, you never said heroin.
Excuse me, well...
Why would I ever want heroin legal? Are you off? You would support heroin legal?
No.
You're a sick individual. You see now how I got to go back at this guy? If you're not listening to him, he throws out more BS. I will never vote to raise your premiums.
You
will,
you want to know
because you think the taxpayers got endless pockets.
If you think 400 people. Every policeman, every police department is not spending extra money of your money to take care of this, when the fact is that
You know
you could
something?
probably spend 1/10, get rid of it, and save a lot of money. You're nuts.
No,
You
that's
don't know
bull-
what you're talking
no,
about.
that's bull. You're not telling the truth. You're just talking out of your butt right now. That's what you're talking out of, okay?
Good
Because-
Democrat, bad Republican.
Yeah, no. Fiction, fact, okay? Because you have no clue. You're in commerce, and you don't even know about on what would happen to the premiums there by mandating this onto insurance companies when we already got money out there, and the cities and towns are, doing for their
if
their
you know something,
areas.
if it was that easy, yeah. Okay, we have a new. All right, you all done? Are you all done?
And you piss me off sometimes. I'll
Okay,
tell you
all right,
right
okay.
now.
We're starting a new segment.
Thank God we got Trump coming in.
All right, we're starting a new segment. Compliments and complaints. I want to hear one of your compliments.
One of my compliments. I was so happy yesterday because you didn't show up.
So you're happy.
Everything
with
was
me.
smooth.
All right.
Yeah, there
so-
was one less no vote on some of the
Okay.
bills that came forward.
My compliment
Yeah.
is congratulations to my wife. I thought what she
Oh,
said
without a doubt,
was
your wife-
very fair.
your wife is a great
All right,
person.
so that's a compliment
I thought
to
she
her.
did a good job.
Also, we have God talking every once in a while
Right, yeah.
here. But guess what?
And he-
We will still do this with God.
Yeah, but see,
Access television.
the-
That's a compliment. Okay, complaints.
a complaint, okay. A complaint. Okay. Well, on the governor, my
Any
complaint always
complaints you
with the
want?
governor, because she's going around the state and look what I did, not telling people that the reason why our drug programs are slowed down and haven't got in place yet, and they're still going through the licensing program to get these beds set up, is because she sat and vetoed a budget and the money that was there to do this stuff. Now it took a while to get the contracts up and running. Now that they're out, we're seeing like bed space up in Keene. We're seeing some bed space in Manchester that are up and running now. Okay,
So
for
that's
the
a
drug
complaint
program.
or
No,
a
it's a complaint.
compliment?
But the compliment is on the Republicans that in the some of the Democrats that did vote for that budget.
Okay.
They put the money finally there.
My complaint.
you.
My complaint is that I fell down twice in a month.
Oh, you
Why
just-
don't they sand the damn place up there?
You're just an idiot.
And
I didn't fall.
excuse me, I got a question. No, just
I
hold on.
didn't fall.
Hold-
God, is he an idiot?
hold- no, hold. Yeah. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. My phone will start talking
Yeah,
again.
it's that's probably him bringing it.
No, I got a question to ask you. When you walk, do you park at the garage? Where do you park?
On the side street.
On the side street.
Right.
So you run out and, I want to.
Yeah.
But do you ever walk on the sidewalks up
Yeah,
there?
I do. It's a shame sometimes they don't
And
salt,
they don't
sand
what?
it. Yeah, no salt, no sand. And I have
sometimes they don't
and I have-
even
and I have
shovel
a bad,
it.
I have a bad pelvis. I have arthritis.
Against, all right?
Right. I know it is sad up there.
All right,
And
it is.
sometimes I've actually slipped out getting out of my car. You know what I mean? And I have to be careful because I
No.
broke my pelvis in 3
My
places.
my compliment is to the whole state of New Hampshire that during these times that we're going through, it's silly season, as we both know. All right. But my compliment is that nobody booed the candidates who have come in so far. They're all Republicans. Democrats have been good. Question: if Hillary Clinton comes in to speak before us, you're going to boo her?
Would I boo her? No, I don't. Democrats never booed any Republicans.
Right.
Why would I ever do that?
All right.
You know?
Okay.
Hey, one thing,
So that's my
Nashua.
compliment. Yeah.
If you
Hurry up, we have 45
on the
seconds.
29th of January, Donald Trump's coming to town. So if you want to see Donald Trump, he's coming
How
to
can people
Nashua.
get in touch with you?
www.albaldessaro.com. Or you can reach me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. You can call me at 425-6997 or 41 Hall Road, Londonderry. Stop by, talk to me.
Yes, bus will be at Haywood's picking every. All right, my name is Ken Gidge. This is The Art of Politics. I'm one of the founders of this. This is my co-host. I love the guy. We do
He
fool
lies.
around. You can get me, Gidge World. That is an art site. Or go, kgidge@gmail.com or 888-2355. Okay, thank you, Al. Thank you, Al.
Oh, it's a pleasure once again
All
with your
right.
lies.
Thank you for watching. It's all in fun.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.